It's the same language that they're using now for children. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into this video, guys, please do all the YouTube stuff. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's check out this video.
Love is a lie, but the whole idea of love has been weaponized against women in order to get us to provide labor for free or without any kind of recognition or acknowledgement. Okay. Like if someone's a chef and they cook food for people, that's a job. And they're compensated for it.
That's not a fair comparison.
If someone is a nanny and they take care of children, that's a job and they're compensated for and appreciated for it. If someone is a SW or even a mistress, they're usually compensated and appreciated.
These are not good comparisons.
When you become a mother, you are not compensated or appreciated for any of these things. I don't have a good relationship with my mother. And the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, oh, okay. Even though I don't think she was a very good mother, it makes a lot of sense why she wasn't a good mother. Because what a thankless job for 98% of women who occupy it. And we're supposed to do it all with a smile on our face because love. Because you love your children. That's why you take care of them. Because you love your husband. That's why you married him. That's why you feed him. That's why you pick up after him. That's why you forgive him. That's why you're romantic with him, even if you don't feel like being romantic with him. Because he has needs and you love him and it's your job to fulfill them. It's your job to bend over backwards for your husband and your children because you love them and that's your reward. If you date men, it's supposed to be because you're trying to find love. Any other reason would be shallow and you're a shallow, vapid if you have any other intention or reason to want to date a man. Men, on the other hand, well, they have to ease into love. They're not so prone to love. They're visual creatures.
There's a lot going on here.
Super young. They want someone who's super hot. You know, love isn't so much their thing. Sure, they love their children, but not like a mother could love their children.
Oh my days.
Sure, they love their wives, but not like a woman loves a man. You see how love implicates women and lets men off the hook?
So, a woman like this is not likely to get somebody to be with them. They come up with ways to be victims. She made comparison to things that didn't match. She's basically saying you should be paid for being a woman. You're not paid for just being born. You pay because you work. And being a mother is not something that we generally call work. I know people start calling it work. But really and truly, it's a privilege, right? Being a father is a privilege. Being a mother is a privilege. It just so happens the way God made it that when you want to have a kid, there's a way to conceive and also it's painful to give birth. But in its true essence, being a mother or being a father is a privilege. However, a woman like this, and this is something that's been going on a lot right now in the world, which is that they're beginning to demonize motherhood. Like women are talking about not having children now. They're talking about being childless. And you have a lot of women now who not only don't have children, but by the time they hit 30, 40, they're childless, right? And they have nobody to look after them when they get old. This is actually an epidemic. It's actually a thing. And then you have people who have money anyway, who freeze their egg, especially if they've not been able to secure a guy by a particular age. They freeze their egg just in case. But really and truly, we have women out there right now who are going on social media talking about you don't need to have a child. You know, it's cool to be childless. There's no child doing this or doing that. The same way that we're talking about men. This is the same way that we're talking about men, right? When these feminists start coming up and saying, oh, you don't have to be locked down by a relationship because you don't have to do this and do this. You can get up whenever you want. You can do this whenever you want. It's the same language that they're using now for children. The same thing. They say, well, you don't need to get up and do this. You don't need to, listen to this noise, and you don't need to have to go on it. You can get up whenever you want, go wherever you want, pack up and go to another country whenever you want. That's the language they're going for. And they're glamorizing it. But women like this exist. And unfortunately, right now, what they're saying makes a lot of sense to them. But there comes a time when the man's wisdom is no longer able to carry him. Our wisdom, the wisdom of a man, is not enough to carry you after a certain point. You reach your own conclusion, that's fine. But when the time comes to pay the piper, when you get older, when you're 40, when you're sitting in your house by yourself, when you're 50 and you're sitting in your house by yourself, or when you're going to the park and you're watching other people with their families and you wonder, should I have done it differently? It's too late. It's too late. It's so sad though, right? It must be, guys, I spoke about in one of my videos that one of the mysteries of life is when the Bible said that you can deceive yourself. What we call coping right now, the word we use as coping, which is essentially you lie to yourself. Instead of telling yourself the truth and saying, look, you messed up there, that was silly, you double down and you're like, yeah, well, that wouldn't have happened if this person didn't do this. And then convince yourself that you're right. Convince yourself you're the victim. You begin to believe yourself. I'm telling you guys, I still don't understand how that works. I really don't. I don't understand how I can lie to myself, but it's a real thing. And this is what's happening. This woman believes that love in itself is basically bondage to her. Love in itself, because only she has to love, and that love in itself is somehow evil to her or holding her back, and men don't have to do that. Okay, what else can you say? It is just unfortunate. We live in this life, and life sometimes doesn't give you second chances. Yes, we try and hope for people getting second chances, but sometimes life doesn't give you second chances. Trying to do what you could have done in your 20s, when you're 40, 50s, it's not gonna work. Guys, what do you think of what I'm saying? What do you think about the video? Do you agree with her? Do you agree with me? Have you seen this type of talk before? Especially what I mentioned about women saying they're going childless now and they don't want to have kids, and demonizing those who do have kids or those who want to have kids. Just like people are demonizing people who want to be married, especially those who want to be married early, and they're calling them pick-me's and stuff like that. How the language changes, and those who have what they want, right? Because at some point you're going to become 40 and you're going to be jealous of that 20, 30-year-old who did what they're supposed to do. And then you become bitter against them, and then it turns to something else. What do you guys think of that? Is that something you guys know about? Have you experienced that? Have you seen it? Do you see it around you? Let me know about it in the comments below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed what I was saying, and subscribe to my channel, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys on my next video.